Hopefully now video. I guess we're about to find. I can hear. Me right now. Oh. Yeah. Floyd on mic. Going in. Okay. Do I have shitty? It's gonna be the. Hang on. Is that any better? I just took it out. Let me check. Make audio. Get right. Yeah. A little bit of like video also. All right, gang. Let me try. Give me two. Get a screen. Hang on. All right. Now I got rid of that yellow. It says full green right now. So let me know if this is any better. And if it's not, I'm going to restart the whole thing. But if this sounds better, we should be all right. Like Mike Floyd, I see Dumb Money is in the King Buzz. What's going on, man? Floyd says margin calls happen daily. Sounds better? Okay. All right, good. Good. King Buzz says margin calls tomorrow at 2. Somebody saying that? Ellie, good evening. All right, I'm glad that's fixed. Sound and video is okay. All right, man. Cool. Good. I don't know what was going on, but as long as we're fixed now. I sent Tony wanted to come over and talk about some stuff. I sent him a link, but he has not shown up in the foyer yet. So I don't know if he's still coming or what, but how's everybody doing tonight? So you're going to have to try to bear with me a little bit. I think I'm having a little infection going on right now in my jaw. Trying to keep it clean and sterilized, but if a little piece of food gets in there, can be game over. So it's a little swollen right now, and it's actually not that painful, but it's swollen, it's uncomfortable, and it feels weird. I was gonna come on last night and go live again, but that's when it started acting up. Saturday night, I was not feeling it as much. When it first came out, I think there was like an adrenaline rush, and I had some eggnog before I came on, and I wasn't feeling the effect much, but yeah, it was freaky. All right, so there's if we wait for Tony for a little bit, I just want to talk about the box office this weekend. And some of the comments I saw, people talking about that AMC dropped today because of Disney's performance over the weekend. I mean, this isn't even the worst bomb that they've had this year. I don't see why that should be affecting price action for us at all. And again, I get that Disney is losing money on these movies, but AMC is not losing any money. So those two should have no correlation. But I saw a lot of people talking about it. If anything, that should be affecting Disney stock, not AMC. And speaking of which, in their last SEC filing, we've talked about this a lot on the channel, and I've given you guys my opinion, and Tony's given his opinion, and we've gotten the opinion from most of you guys in the comments about what's going on with Disney, if we're going to see a change in direction, or if they continue with their the agenda they're pushing. And they seem to have answered that question pretty clear and concisely in their last SEC filing. So I'm going to pull that up so I can show it to you guys. John's Touchpad, what's going on, man? All right. This is the article from Breitbart from yesterday. Disney report warns investors' social goals take priority over profits. This article is by John Nolte. It says the Disney Grooming Syndicate's annual SEC report tried to bury its foundational problems in the word salad of all word salads. Thankfully, that Park Place saw right through it. The key takeaway from this report is that Disney, as required by law in these filings, is warning investors that its social goals are more important than profits. There is in such things a statement of the various risk factors the company may encounter, explains that Park Place, all in the obligatory legal way to avoid people later saying, you never warned us about this. All right, so I pulled a couple excerpts here from the filing. It just kind of highlighted some of the things I thought were interesting. So right here, it says demand for certain out-of-home entertainment experiences, such as theater going to watch movies, has not returned to pre-pandemic levels. Now, that's true if we're talking about Disney as a studio, yes. But you can't say the same for Universal because they've had half a dozen billion-dollar smashes. So I think they are barking up the wrong tree here, blaming the success of the theaters or the lack of success on people still wanting to watch movies at home or, are afraid about COVID or whatever. The success of our business, therefore, depends on our ability to successfully predict and adapt to changing consumer tastes and preferences outside as well as inside the U.S. Further, consumers' perceptions of our position on matters of public interest, including our efforts to achieve certain of our environmental and social goals, often differ widely and present risks to our reputation and brands. Consumer tastes and preferences impact, among other items, revenue from advertising sales, which are based in part on the ratings for the programs in which advertisements air, affiliate fees, subscription fees, theatrical film receipts, the license of rights to other distributors, theme park admissions, hotel room charges, and merchandise, food, and beverage sales on licensed consumer product or sales of our other consumer products and services. That is the Disney Grooming Syndicate admitting, we recognize that our far left social and political agenda has damaged our company's reputation and profits. And number two, we have no intention of changing. You have been warned, suckers. Goes on, it says a few more takeaways from the SEC filing found by That Park Place. The decline in domestic advertising revenue was due to a decrease of 14% from fewer impressions, reflecting lower average viewership, partially offset by an increase of 7% from higher rates. Disney saw a 14% double-digit decrease in impressions with its viewership. Here's where Disney admits its theatrical flops affect every other part of its business. Upon a film's release and determination of the theatrical performance, the company's estimates of revenues from succeeding windows and markets, which may include imputed license fees for content that is used on our DTC streaming services, are revised based on historical relationships and an analysis of current market trends. The Disney magic starts with the movies. Without iconic movies, the rest of it suffers. It's the movie experience that nudges people to want to recapture that experience at a Disney hotel, theme park, or cruise line. So they're basically saying, and they understand that their whole bread and butter is based off of theatrical releases, right? That's how they create their IPs, unless they, purchased them in the last 10 years. And that's how, they are able to make all this money from merch and so on. It says if the movies tank, it sours the brand. And right now, Disney movies are tanking one after another. But that's what happens when a brand built on protecting the innocence of children embraces the social goal of deliberately violating that innocence with drag queens, transvestites, and transsexuals. Disney tried to bury the following bombshell using a lot of dull words, but it's still a bombshell. The decrease in licensing revenue was due to lower sales of merch based on Star Wars, Frozen, Toy Story, and Mickey and Friends. These are bottom line brands, legacy brands, golden geese that have never stopped producing. For nearly 100 years, Mickey Mouse was infallible. For more than 40 years, Star Wars was infallible. For 30 years, Toy Story was infallible. But Disney's despicable and evil social goals now appear to be damaging three of the most universal and beloved brands ever created. But regardless of this reputational and monetary fallout, the Disney Grooming Syndicate intends to put its environmental and social goals before profits. You dumb Disney investors can't say you weren't warned. Now, I'm not echoing that sentiment. I'm not saying anyone investing in Disney is dumb. But at least you know where they stand, and they have no intention of turning any ships around, at least not this current CEO and C-suite and the upper management at Disney right now. So, just be careful. If you're going to be buying Disney, this trend looks like it is going to continue. Jay, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight? Tommy, what's going on? Harry Parrot, Mike. Just got back from Disney a few days ago. How was it? Were you at were you in Florida or California? Harry Parrot says, think of Disney's parks. Bye bye. Yeah, they are asking for a hostile takeover. I mean, just look at think about this. So their big holiday blockbuster release, Wish, right? They had a 5-day timetable of which it was running at theaters over the holiday, right? Because it came out of Thanksgiving weekend. And the numbers they didn't even come close to the estimates. Not even close. And the mainstream can't ignore it. They can't. Now with back to this, Variety put this article up. Box office, Disney's Wish fizzles. Yeah, Napoleon beats expectations and Hunger Game lands on. Says Disney may need to find another star to wish upon. The studio's newest animated adventure was projected to land on top of box office charts over Thanksgiving holiday. Instead, ticket sales fell short of expectations with a weak 19.5 million over the traditional weekend and 31.7 over the 5 days. It's projected to earn 35 million and 45 to 50 in the 5-day total release. They weren't as catastrophic as last year's Strange World, which only did 12 million, but it didn't come anywhere close to 2021's, which opened to 40.3 over its first 5 days when COVID was keeping families at home. And it's a far, far cry from pre-pandemic Thanksgiving, like Frozen 2 at 123 million, 84, and 2017's Coco at 71 million. And they added 17 more million in the international box office. Wish carries a heavy $200 million production budget and needs to show the same kind of endurance to justify its price tag. Even with an A- cinema score, they're going to have a lot of trouble recouping that money. They're not even going to come close. 12, 13 movies releases in a row for Disney that are going to be massive losses of almost 40 to 50%. How can you continue down this path? I don't get it. I really don't. Napoleon, a $200 million war epic starring Joaquin Phoenix as the infamous French ruler, opened in second place with a better than expected 21 mil over the traditional weekend and 32.5 in the first 5 days. Globally, just under 80 million. And it says, it's saying here, comparatively speaking, you would think Wish would have blown the doors off Napoleon. It's a 2-hour and 40-minute movie. It's historic, epic, right? So it's not dragging 5 or 6 kids to the theater to go. This is going to be, boomers and Gen X, maybe. They did triple. Should typically for Disney have been they should have been knocked. It's unfortunate, man. Jay says he was in Florida near that big new mansion of Kenny G. Jay said if I had seen one trans or anything liberal, I'd have been. Oh man. Mike says Walt is rolling over in his grave. I know. He's got to be. Can't really talk though. You know why? Because I bet you are fucking spinning on 20-inch rims right now in the ground at what's going on right now. It's embarrassing. So I don't know the story about Wish, but I decided to go kind of look into what it's all about. Mine apparently. Put this up. Boom. All right, I'm just gonna take this down for 1 sec because you guys can see what I'm reading. All right, so apparently this is from Burden. Zero Hedge is the website. In a bizarre attempt at Maximum Cope, the media is hailing The Marvels as the largest ever theatrical opening by a black female director, when in fact the movie is actually the largest box office bomb made by a black female director. Now Disney's animated The Wish is set to top that failure, falling well below box office predictions and bringing over 32 in the 5-day period. Here's where we get into it. While The Woke is more obscure than previous films, it features yet another precocious ethnic teen female named Asha, banding together with her diverse cast of friends to fight a revolution against the white male patriarchy. The main villain is, of course, King Magnifico, who rules the kingdom of Rosas, using the magical power to grant wishes. However, the king doesn't grant everyone's wish, only some, and those who don't get their wish granted forget their wishes forever. Sounds like typical life. You know, I don't think any of us out there get everything we want right now. Asha believes this is unfair and that people should have their wishes returned or fulfilled, perhaps a vague nod to the concept of equity, in which every person is taught to expect equality of outcome, not just equality of opportunity. When Asha finds a magical power that threatens the king's monopoly, he loses his mind with envy and goes for dark side to keep control. While the story arc could be interpreted as a criticism of centralized government, the greater plot is far more socialist in its agenda. The evil king is overthrown by the power of collective love. The queen sides with the revolutionaries and rules in his place. Shocker. And everyone gets equal wish fulfillment. It's a woke carnival sideshow. I can't say I'm surprised. The spin machine is working overtime to defend Disney's brand. Woke films like Elemental were flops at theaters, but made more money overseas. The movie still failed to break even one marketing costs, and the theater cut is added, which will probably be handled the same way. Disaster in the US, but a moneymaker in South Korea or Brazil. And at this stage in the game, this is the best that Disney can hope for, breaking even. In the meantime, Disney's name is in the mud in America for good reason. Rumors are swirling that the company is seeking to de-wokeify future content. I don't know where you got that from, but it may be too little too late for an organization that only 2 years ago was so aggressive and prideful in their efforts to indoctrinate American youth. And when I first saw this news pop up on Twitter, I was going through some of the Twitter feeds. It's very apparent of why this movie did not do well. It's not like, there was some terrible thing going on in the world that no one wanted to go out this weekend, or, families didn't get together or are broke. It has nothing to do with any of that. I mean, there's only one reason. People are rejecting Disney right now. They are through with it. They're not going to give Disney the benefit of the doubt anymore. And people, would save their money, or they're going to see other movies. Because Hunger Games did pretty well over the weekend. And, Napoleon almost cracked 100 mil. So, Tommy B says those underground suspect. Yeah, I saw about those on Twitter. Man, Twitter's just wild, the things that you can see on there. But I think it's a good platform because, you get exposed to everything. And I think that's important. If you're really trying to make hardline decisions on where you stand on issues, You need to see both sides of every coin, right? Or argument or whatever. Jay says, one thing for sure, all this liberal BS will go away as soon as it becomes it's unsustainable, right? So I think that right now they are able to get away with a lot of this because they do still have the parks, which are bringing in money, and the cruise lines. But I mean, you know, just a few months ago, they closed down the whole Disney hotel. Numbers are down because prices are up. The subscription services are getting crushed right now. They're down hundreds of thousands of subscribers from a year ago. And like they were saying in the article, the merch, especially the IP merch, like the stuff for Star Wars and Marvel and Frozen and Toy Story, that should just be automatic that you're able to put out anything and it will get picked up because the fan bases are so rabid for that stuff, right? But they've damaged the IPs so badly, people just don't want the shit anymore. Yuka, what's going on, man? Yuka says, when in Rome. Yuka says Napoleon Dynamite did very well, Mass. Yeah, for a 2 hour and 40-minute historical epic film, almost cracked 100 mil. Especially when you're comparing it to a Disney original that's coming out over a 5-day Thanksgiving weekend when families are already naturally together. I mean, there's more kids probably together in the same houses at any other time of the year, except maybe Christmas. And no one went out to go see the movie. Jay said, Taylor Swift, if the B find out she's in some of these future movies, will explode the box office. I'm going to assume she will be. By the way, when does, speaking of which, when is the release of Beyonce's concert? December 1st. Oh, so 4 days. Man, this is great to see. Let me show you guys this. This is really great to see. So this is the theater that's closest to me right now. Cineplex. If you go buy one of these tickets right now, AMC is going to get some of that Skrilla. That is just it's good to know. Good to know, I must say. Wow, it's almost 3 hours. Renaissance film accentuates the journey of Renaissance from its inception to the opening in Stockholm, Sweden, to the finale. The finale is in Kansas City, Missouri. Interesting. It is about Beyonce's intention, hard work, involvement in every aspect of the production, her creative mind, and purpose to create her legacy and master her craft. Received with extraordinary acclaim, Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour created a sanctuary for freedom and shared joy for more than 2.7 million fans. Yeah, man, that's I do love seeing that, or just knowing that even if there's not an AMC near you, by going to see this, I can still support the company. Mike says Target didn't learn. They've had pride. I saw that. What is the deal with the black disabled person in Santa in a wheelchair? What the hell is that? Who's buying that? I mean, this shit is just out of control. Out of control. Fox News is mad at Target for gay nutcracker black Santa in wheelchair. $12, but it's on sale already. How are they already marking it down? That's not cool, dude. What are you trying to say? It's not a popular item? We sent one of our producers to Target, and they found it complete with a rainbow hat and trans flag. Full price $12, but right now it's on sale for $8. Our chimney is wheelchair accessible. Man, it is something else, man. This shit is just wild how far they're taking this. It's way too much. Way too much. We need a serious change in this country. I am sometimes completely shocked when I go onto Twitter and I see some of these teachers in their TikToks, what they are talking about in the classroom. Man, the generation coming up right now, like the youngest of kids, are going to be so fucked up in the head. They're just saying confusing, outlandish, ridiculous shit you can imagine. Like they themselves with the kids. I don't understand the obsession with that younger generation. It's trying to live out through their students, what they wanted to maybe, or what they were thinking when they were younger. But I don't even know if that's what it is. It seems like it's even more nefarious than that. Yuka says, why not mark down the correct trans marks like the Transformers? Harry Page had just looked it up. State Street Core is the biggest shareholder. Yeah. Yeah. So Harry, we played that video here on the live stream before, right? Of Fink's at BlackRock, but yeah, all these guys have huge amounts of money invested in these companies. They're setting the tone for what these companies are doing. And I think, because, then you start to question, like, all right, well, at what point is it going to be, enough where they just say, oh, it's not worth it anymore. We're going to drop this whole storyline and the agenda and the ideology and everything. I don't know if that time is going to come. There's a good chance they are banking on a point in time where it becomes that we're not going to have this access to be able to criticize stuff like this. Like, look what is going on in Ireland right now. I mean, is that not crazy that they are trying to investigate Conor McGregor for hate speech because he said that this is ridiculous, what's going on with the mass illegal immigration? I got to play this clip for you guys. Just yesterday, and I almost puked. And I know I told you guys I was working on a video about Ireland. I was supposed to finish today, but it will be done tomorrow. It's a little long. Shit's wild, man. Wild. Let me put this up.
Think about it.
Okay, so this is one of the legislators in Ireland right now. Should I see? Is her name on the bottom? No. But check out this position she's taken on what over the past couple of days.
When you think about it, All law, all action is about the restriction of freedom. That's exactly what we're doing here, is we are restricting freedom, but we're doing it for the common good. You will see throughout our Constitution, yes, you have rights, but they are restricted for the common good. Everything needs, and if your views on other people's identities go to make their lives unsafe, insecure, and cause them such deep discomfort that they cannot live in peace, then I believe that it is our job as legislators to restrict those freedoms for the common good. When you think about it, all law, all legislation,
I mean, that is pretty much sounds like something that Stalin would have said. This is Ireland. Are they trying? Is she trying to say that's democratic? Because all this does is you push people into a radical process or thought process because you don't have any outlet for this rage. And if you don't allow people to express that freely and you try to shut them down, other ways to get that outlet, right? To make their voice heard. If you're going to try to threaten them with hate speech online, they will find another way to, and it probably will be worse. It probably will be worse. Mike says Javier Milei. Ryan says, Ryan, what's going on, man? Says that's sickening. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Pretty sad. They're trying to bring up on charges right now. Here's what the Prime Minister said just the other day. All right, this is the Prime Minister of Ireland. Check this out.
One thing I strongly deputy on is the need to set a target number of people from ethnic minorities in areas of the public service. We have a health service that's very diverse, although less so as you go up towards the senior positions, not so much in the Gardaí, not so much in the Defence Forces, not so much in the education sector, as I mentioned, which is very white, including the Department of Equality, for example, and that actually needs to change. So we need to have, I think, a target for people of ethnic minority backgrounds, but also dedicated recruitment campaigns to encourage people, because we do need a generation of young people growing up in Ireland who are people of colour to see black and brown school principals, Keen Corla perhaps in the future. Who knows? Visibility and opportunity is really important. I strongly agree with Deputy is the need to set a target.
So what it kind of sounds like is there's too many Irish people in Ireland. That's what I get from that speech. Fuck. There's one group of people you don't want to mess with, which is kind of weird because I'm keep thinking to myself, where are all the old IRA people in Ireland right now who, fucking went to war, had a warfare against, the greatest empire at the time. Shit's just going to get worse. If they try to outlaw this stuff, and clamp down on, not allow people to express themselves, you are just asking for trouble. Asking for trouble. And they're already talking how they can start to crack down on this. So this is the Justice Minister of Ireland. Twerp right here. And see that this is one of our biggest problems. These men who are in positions of power are extremely weak. You know, some of the women have bigger balls than some of these guys, unfortunately. They are all very weak men. And that leads to huge problems in any nation.
I think it's right and proper. The real horror that people saw on the streets of Dublin last Thursday, the commissioner will carry.
So he's talking about the real horror that was a couple police cars burned down and a couple windows got smashed out.
Full review and report for the Minister for Justice in relation to the situation. A number of actions already underway, led by Helen McEntee, around making sure we better resource and support our Gardaí, continuing with Garda recruitment to grow the number of Gardaí in Dublin and across our communities, body cameras, looking at the issue of how we can get our Gardaí to use technology so it can speed up the time that it takes them to have to review CCTV, and then also legislative change to make sure that where people do commit a crime, particularly attacking a guard or a frontline worker, that there are longer sentences. So there's a number of measures that have been done, and there's a number of them that will now be even escalated further. I think it's right and proper.
But not for the criminals that are illegally in your country wreaking havoc on your citizens, who most of them have been there since the dawn of Ireland. Like when the Druids were running the place. It's crazy. Michael, what's going on, man? Good evening. How you doing, my friend? Yuka says, Mass, what about the man that was arrested at Disneyland for stripping naked in Small World? I didn't hear that. That just happened? Is that old? Harry Parrot says Dublin isn't in the north. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of Belfast. Thanks, Harry Parrot. Man, that's another one. I had the Chip Roy thing the other night. It was actually Clay Higgins. Just confused Dublin. But yeah, you're right. That's right. That's right. I'm thinking of Belfast. There probably aren't any IRA guys down in Dublin. Michael says, doing good. Hope you're well. Yeah, man. I just, I'm not sure if it's getting infected or not. I'm pretty sure it is. I think, I don't know if you saw Saturday night's live stream, but that tooth that was bothering me finally popped on Saturday. And I think I got some food stuck in there now. And, but I'll tell you, it's better than the pain that was the tooth bouncing off my jawbone every night trying to eat and chew. So I'll take it. And it hasn't, I don't hear a tremendous slur in my speech. It sounds like I can still enunciate pretty well for the most part. I don't know. Do I sound any different tonight to you guys who didn't see me Saturday night? But other than that, man, I'm doing well. Thank you. What were some other things I wanted to show you guys? Oh, speaking of the update. So if you guys didn't see what's going on in France now, let me show you. This just came across the wire like a couple hours ago. So apparently, this is from Annie No. He says, following the stabbing murder of a French teen allegedly by Algerian youths in southern French village, protesters gathered in Lyon to protest against immigration and Islam. Here they shout, French, wake up, this is your home here. Man, this stuff is bad news, man. Bad news. Europe, keg right now between Spain, France, Ireland. You know, I've been talking a lot about like the changes we're going to see next 10, 11, 12 months in this country and going forward, but it's going to be a domino effect, I think, across the Western world. You know, anyone who has any vested interest in the country that they're in, and again, I have nothing against migrants or people who are looking for a better life, who are looking for opportunity. I do have a problem with people who are knowingly breaking the law and coming to take benefits out of the mouths and hands of. I think you would find that in any country you go. The problem with America is these younger generations have been so brainwashed into thinking that America is a bad place and that capitalism is evil and that, you know, we are all right-wing slave drivers and colonists and evil, basically. And they've been brought up in the school system to believe this crap. And so they don't feel anything. They have no connection with any of the things that represent America. And that's a huge problem, right? That's because if that's your thought process that America's a bad, evil place, you're not going to want to defend it, and B, you're most likely going to want to dismantle it. Harry Parrot says the PM of Ireland, Leo Varadkar, is a member of the. Yep. This is all this globalist agenda. This is a real thing. I mean, I am over the whole right wing, far right wing. You know, people that word has lost all its potency over the last couple of years. It just has. There's no. They label everything as far right. If it's not left, then it's far right. And I'm just kind of over it. The question is going to be, at what point are they going to actually shut down our ability to speak? I mean, do I think it could come to? Remember who, you know, is running the show right now over there? It's a woman who used to work for the WEF. So I don't know if she's some kind of mole or plant, and she's letting a lot of things slide right now. But as we come closer to maybe, you know, the election, that they'll start clamping down. I don't know. It's very possible that if you raise a lot of alarms, you would be very cautious in your first couple of, 6 to 9 months that you're in that position. You might let a lot of things slide. And then when you feel like you need to crack the whip, then you just start enforcing the old policies over again. Mike says, coming to America? Yeah. No doubt about it, man. Yep. And, it's kind of sad because when I look at some of the comments on the videos, whether they're on YouTube or Twitter, it has become tribal, right? I wish there were more Americans of all different ethnicities who felt the same way, but it seems like it's very tribalized. For a few exceptions. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part, they've done an excellent job. The mainstream media, the government, and social media, of cutting us up into these small different categories that are going to be constantly butting heads. Thing is, with some of these European countries, they have these people have, you know, we are a melting pot here still in America, right? We still have people who are first generations. A lot of those people have been there since those countries were first formed, right? Like the Irish people have never went and conquered anything. It's not like you know, they have some sins they have to pay for from the past, right? Ireland was, they were one of the main groups of Americans who came over here, assimilated to, you know, life here, and then went and fought and died in the Civil War. Like, some of them came right off the boats, and literally they put an Enfield rifle in their hand, and they went off to fight. Tens of thousands of Irish. Feed Jake, what's going on, man? Good to see you in the chat. Mike says, when is Joe sending more yacht money to Zelensky? I heard Jamal Bowman talking about another aid package last night. I don't know how much it is. But speaking of that, Mike, look at this. This is like a little video of the money we've sent overseas the last couple years. U.S. foreign aid assistance since 2021. Check this out. Do the numbers change? Yeah. Look at this money. And you wonder why we're $33.5 trillion in debt. So you got the countries on here. You got Afghanistan, Israel, Iraq, Egypt, Ukraine, Jordan, Pakistan, Ethiopia, Palestine, South Africa, Uganda, Nigeria, Russia. What are those two in the bottom there? Looks like Romania, maybe? No, Colombia. I can't tell the bottom left country. Bottom. But look at this foreign assistance. 130 billion, 80 billion, 82 billion, 20 billion. We are broke. Mike says, wow, that's our tax money. It's nuts, right, bro? Like, that's crazy. And we're $33.5 trillion in debt right now. And use just the shelves, like the Federal will keep printing it. Phil, what's going on, man? Phil's in the chat. Phil says, new gasoline tax in California. They only want to punish people for driving a car. Phil, have you seen some of the testimony in Capitol Hill? People who are kind of raising the alarm about how much electricity it's going to take to charge some of these big rigs. Like, the amount to charge an entire big rig would run a small city. These people are completely out of touch with the kind of energy you're going to need to draw in California. And they just outlawed all gas-powered landscaping equipment, I believe, right? Starting just a couple weeks. Ken, what's going on, man? Ken says Ukraine will end up with about $800 billion when all is said and done. Yeah. Yep. And it's all of our tax money. I don't know any person that ever said that that was okay. Any American citizen who's got a tax ID number and has worked in the last 20 years ever signed off on sending all this money overseas. For what? For what? What did we get back for that? Harry Parrot says, Massa, for your tooth issues, wash your mouth with salt and water. Yeah, I saw that online. I did. Listen, man, I didn't lose the tooth because of decay or rot. I lost it because I bit down on a fucking Danish like it was going out of style, or I hadn't eaten in 6 months, and the cherry pit was in the compote still. But yes, thank you for the advice. Appreciate that. I did see that online. Slick Rick says, you don't drive in a smart city. That's true, bro. That's true. AMC Panda says, extra fees for EVs because less gas tax. Yeah, it's... I don't know how they're going to possibly have this infrastructure set up to be able to go full EV by 2030. It just doesn't seem like there's any way possible that's going to happen. No way. All right, let me go to some other things I want to show you guys. All right, this was earlier tonight. So Tucker went on with Steve Bannon earlier on X. Hang on. I don't know if you guys caught this yet, if anyone did. But they had a nation and their take on Ireland. Here's what they said. Let me get to the point I wanted to get to. 740. Okay, here we go. Make this big. Oh, actually, we just go like this, right? Oh.
I mean, the head of the Irish government and the chief of police.
If a government crime to criticize that government's policies, then it's not by definition a free country, is it?
I think you're absolutely correct, and I think you're seeing that here in the United States. I mean, as you know, I mean, you're hounded all the time. If you have a different opinion from the state, right? They're doing that, trying to do that every day here in the United States. It's one of the reasons that if they can't criminalize it to actually use the courts and the police state like the FBI, they'll basically partner with big tech to either deplatform you or to other you. We're seeing this here in the United States. And this is just about the situation of the problem. Think about the solution. I keep telling people, hey, think downrange to 2025. If we're able to win and closing that win, think of the issues we have to deal with, not just in the budget, but with the deportations. I mean, we have 9 million or 8 or 9 million here today just on Biden's watch. Center for Immigration Studies says we're going to have another 6 million by the time we get to the election next year. That's 14 or 15 million. I think illegal alien invaders are coming because they gamed the asylum system. My belief is those people have to go home. They have to be returned. They have to leave our country, or we're not going to have a country. You're going to see hate speech law. You're going to see, I mean, even the discussion about this over the last couple of weeks with the people at Project 2025 and Stephen Miller and others have all of a sudden got the media saying, oh, we're setting up concentration camps. This is going to be worse than the Japanese in World War II, all of that. And that's just even mentioning the concept of it. So the issue of how it happened, and it's happening every day in the country, is bad enough. And if you stand up to it, you know, you're called a nativist, a xenophobe, racist, you know, a domestic terrorist, a violent extremist. But if you even start to bring up what's going to happen for a solution, like in Midtown Manhattan, where you have to empty out the Roosevelt Hotel and those folks have to go home, it's going to get 10 times worse. And so I hope people that watch the show appreciate the fact, particularly maybe people that are not that political, that we're going to have not just turbulence, we're going to have a firestorm in this country that is going to pale in comparison, I think, to what you saw in Ireland this week.
So I talked to you guys about that the other night on the live stream, right? If they can't do it through the law, they will find other ways to, which I'll just remind you guys. The memberships are till the 30th. That's the last day that I have Restream. So if you've thought about maybe doing it to help out the channel, there's 3 more days, and there'll be a bunch of perks. I hope we get a lot of people to sign up, because I really want to keep doing this and be able to do stuff like, be able to run stuff like this and play this without commercials or, getting shut down. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing this firsthand, what the government is doing. And it's not directly, but they're using the social media platforms to quiet down any dissidents, right? All right. Now, the second thing he mentioned, now this is going back to the economy. What they said about this was really interesting.
Economic necessity or one life, which are wonderful things. And I don't blame the people coming up. If I was down in that situation, I would too, but that's not what our immigration system was supposed to do. They purposely went and game system, not just to make it this possible, but then to finance it. And if you look at the situation where economic
Highway Frog, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. You are all good in my book. No,
Tucker, we passed 33 trillion of debt on 18 September, on the morning of the 18th of September. Right now, we're basically 60 days away from that. We're at $33.8 trillion. We will pass $34 trillion, I estimate, on the 28th of December. 100 days after hitting 33, we'll pass $34 trillion. We are beyond broke. We are technically a bankruptcy right now. And we're doing this all on foreign money and just fiat currency that is created. And you see, look at Argentina. Argentina is the example of what's going to happen here in the United States. And yet we're letting in, 10 to 15 million new additional illegal alien invaders. And the corporate class wants it because they want to drive down wages at the lowest possible level. And quite frankly, they want bigger markets. They want more consumers. And so this situation is going to cause a political revolution in this country. This has been lingering out there and talked about. It was part of Trump's rise in 16. But the issue is five times worse today, both on the immigration part of it and the financial part of it. And so this is going to come to a head, not just in the 24 campaign. People in your audience, and particularly those under 35 years old, you're a Russian serf. Anything, you're not going to own anything. And the financial situation of this country is only going to get worse. And the confrontation with the invasion of this nation by illegal aliens, exacerbated by radicals and globalists, is going to be, if you think the protests they've outside of you haven't seen anything yet. 2025 and beyond, and for years, there's no magic wand that you're going to sit there and this is going to go away. People have to understand this is like Damocles' sword over the head of this nation. And it's going to take us at least a decade of tough decisions, tough people, tough but fair people to sort this out.
I don't know. I agree, man. I've been in it for months and months and months on the live streams, on the videos. I agree with that analysis. We are headed down a very dark road as a country. Honestly, I thought I was thinking about it earlier today. There's a very good chance that a year from now, I won't be able to even have a channel on here. Because out who, maybe because I'm small enough, it won't be an issue. But I think some of the bigger guys might have some problems, right? But it's funny because they can't by law stop me from putting out videos or doing live streams. They can't do it by law right now. But they do the next best thing, which is, by taking away your ability to make money from it, to be able to do a full-time job, to be able to, put different lives a week or a week. they take away your ability to create a livelihood from it. So it's not direct attack, but indirectly it is. It is. Mike says, get out of the big cities ASAP. Yeah, Mike, did you see that Kathy Hochul the other day just passed some legislation that they can put you in a some type of camp if they think you are infected, even if with like no court, no reprieve, no nothing. They can just pick you up and take you out of your house. Phil says, my son's been loading up on silver because the dollar is trash. Yeah, silver's moving right now, right? I was just looking at that price earlier today. Matter of fact, not you. What is silver spot right now? It is currently, $24 an ounce. I haven't been following silver as closely, but let me see here. What's been doing the last 6 months? What is this? I can't see the chart. Yeah, see, this is another problem, right? Eventually, you can't keep subscribing to all these periodicals. I did have a Bloomberg subscription. All right. Yeah, silver's a good move, right? AMC Panda says Florida cost of living is way high. Is that where you are, AMC Panda? Mike says just don't move to Florida. We're already full. Tennessee would be one of my first picks if I had to move right now, Panda. I love Tennessee, especially East Tennessee. Yeah, that's nice country down there. Real nice country. Kentucky. Bucks fan, what's going on, bro? Bucks fan says most Americans have become cowards. Globalists will win if we don't follow our balls. A fight is coming. Yeah, man. That is one thing that does give me hope is seeing a bunch of guys on here and gals who think alike and know that this is the greatest. I still believe this is the greatest country in the world, or at least one of, and it can be great again. Certainly, our forefathers' America was great. Right now, we've had a lot stripped from us, and like Ian said, we are like pretty much serfs right now. A lot of us, right? That boomer generation still is hoarding a ton of wealth, that eventually has to be released. They don't bury you with it. And Bucks fan knows, he's been with me a long time. I've been saying for years now, though, at least the last year, that there's definitely a big fight. Maybe a fight for the soul of the country. And things could get, I think they're going to be much more ugly than what we're seeing right now in Ireland or Spain or France or anywhere. They close it out by talking about McGregor.
Tectonic plate shift, we're seeing it's going to be quite a fight for the next, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. It's going to take that long to work through this.
Last question. You've mentioned Conor McGregor a couple of times. He's, of course, an MMA fighter. He's been very vocal on social media about what's happening in Ireland, and he seems to be alluding to his getting into politics, taking over Ireland. How would you assess that? What do you think of him and what he's saying?
I think I call him, I put it up on social media. I think he's an Irish patriot. Look, he's got some rough edges. I'm Irish, right? He's got some rough edges, but I think in times of turmoil, look to people who are first. I think it was Churchill that said courage is the most important of all the virtues because it's on virtue that it's on courage that all the other virtues rest. I think you're seeing, he didn't have to do this. By being so vocal, he put himself out there as a target, just like you. Once you're out there, if you step forward and say, hey, this is not right, this is what we have to do, we have to think about the country, and we have to think about the country's citizens first, all of a sudden you're a target. He could have a great life. He's launching pubs. He's an internationally known guy. It's like Trump. You could go do other things. You don't need this. He's doing this, I think, for his great love of Ireland and the Irish people. And like I said, he's got some rough edges. But remember, in what I call a fourth turning in turbulent times, you're going to have the Donald Trumps of the world step forward. You're going to have the Conor McGregors. Those are the people that are going to come through in times of turmoil. These are not era where people that have worked in the state legislature and just punched all their tickets are really, I think, what people are looking for. They're looking for people that are courageous, and we'll have to see Conor McGregor. Look, they're going to come after Conor McGregor. I mean, hard. They're going to do the hate speech thing. I think they're also going to limit the ability of people to go in Ireland like they've tried to do in England, because I think the political class there is petrified about some new party coming up that's more populist nationalist. We've seen it in you've seen it all over the world. You've gone and interviewed people from Spain to Brazil to Argentina. It's interesting that the biggest lid they put on this is in Great Britain and in Ireland. Remember, the Tories are worse. The Tories are 10 times worse than establishment Republicans. You have, even with Nigel, you still don't have a populist nationalist party that's really risen as an alternative. And in Ireland, they will do that. Corrupt political class will do anything Brussels wants, anything Davos wants, to make sure that there's no chance for that party to come up. And the first thing they'll do, they'll attack national figures like Conor McGregor that say, hey, we got to really start putting the Irish people first.
Yeah, they hate themselves so much. It's just remarkable. See, Bannon, again, happy birthday.
So, I don't know about McGregor running for political office. He's very rough around the edges. I think Steve was giving him more credit than he deserves. He was big on vaccines. I don't know political future, but as far as being, look, the guy can get a crowd fired up. That's for damn sure. If you had to go charging into a line of Gardaí police, I don't know anyone else that could get a crowd stirred up too. He's probably one of the best, right? Bucks fan says XRP. You invested in XRP, Bucks fan? How's that moving? I don't know what happened to Tony, man. Oh, made a little move, huh? Let me see here. It's up 8% in the past month. Do you know what? Why did we see this spike right here? Right around what's the date on this? Or let's say here. Why the first week in November? Does anyone know in the chat? That pop. Mike says gold's over 2K an ounce. Yep. Precious metals are definitely getting hammered right now. Again, I think all the precious metals are fake prices, though. I think they have complete control over the commodities part of our market, because it just, you would think, knowing everything that we know or everything that we expect to happen, that those prices should be way higher. Yet they aren't. They're able to keep them very suppressed because they don't want everyone running into precious metals. If you see a huge price pump, obviously you will get money going into, people will invest in anything that will make them money, right? So they can't afford to see precious metals run. Harry says XRP and its CEO are involved with the WEF, not financial advice. Who's the CEO of XRP? Brad Garglinghouse. Quite the name. Bradley Kent Garglinghouse. CEO of Ripple. Was the CEO and chairman of Hightail. Before Hightail, he worked at AOL and Yahoo. He's from Kansas. He's got a BA from Kansas and an MBA from Harvard. Yahoo, he was a senior advisor at Silver Lake. Oh, after Yahoo, he was a senior advisor at Silver Lake Partners. Went to be president of consumer applications at AOL from 2011. He joined the board of video startup Animoto. Joined Ripple as COO in 2015. The whitewashing of unflattering details from Garglinghaus's Wikipedia page was a subject of discussion by Financial Times in 2020. On December 23, 2020, the U.S. SEC Commission issued a complaint alleging the Garden House, Ripple Labs, and Ripple chairman Chris Larsen had committed multiple breaches of security laws while the case was pending. Garglinghouse criticized the SEC's lack of clarity on the status of Ripple products, referring to Chairman Gary Gensler as an autocrat and tweeting that without clear jurisdiction, ambiguity, mass power. In November 2023, which was just a couple days ago, SEC dropped claims against Garlinghouse and Larsen. Is that why we saw the price move that we did? Because those charges were all dropped? I'm going to assume. I'm going to take a stab in the dark. Harry, why do you think he's a WEF stooge? Are we missing part of his background? Oh. Hello. Bradley. Brad is the CEO of Ripple and member of the board of directors. Prior to Ripple, Brad served as the CEO of file collaboration service Hightail, Dialpad Communications, held management positions at SBC Com, Home Network, advisor Silver Lake. He currently serves the board of directors. Now you really got my interest in Ripple. That I didn't know. That puts a whole new spin on its I have a hard time sometimes morally deciding on whether I want to back something that I believe is tied to globalism in general, right? Even Palantir right now, I haven't picked up any new shares because I've been broke, but You know, I have a hard time justifying supporting that, right? Take a few shekels. I'm a professional. What's going on, bro? He says, I'm in East Tennessee, bruh. A lot of Californians buying all the new builds. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Yep. They're like, you know, they like to move around and then change all of the. They want to change your neighborhood into where they just fled from. It's ridiculous. Bucks fan says Tennessee is out for me after the Ohio trail derailment. Harry Perry says Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas are safe except cities. I'm professional says Bucks fan. What does the train have to do with Tennessee? Yeah, what does the train have to do? Just because of its closeness to that vicinity? Pushing with powder. What's going on, man? Good to see you tonight. He's saying Trump 2024. If they don't kill him first. Harry says Steve Bannon is the man. Showdown. Trying to find a good picture for the background. Here we go. All right, we're rolling up on an hour and a half right now. Bucks fan says that contaminated water has spread, in my opinion. Yeah, man, they did a terrible job cleaning that up, right? That's definitely gotten, you would have to imagine, into the drinking water, the wells around, never mind just the surface water. That's probably sunk deep into the soil by now. So I hear that. Makes sense. Bucks fan says the future. Yeah, I hear you. If anything, this would make me more bullish on it. Is what I'm trying to say, Bucks fan. Like, if I know the people in Davos and Bilderberg have mitts on it, all the more reason that I would think more than likely we're going to see its implementation on a global scale. So again, it's just I don't want to be stupid. I've made a lot of dumb emotional decisions in the past, especially when it comes to AMC. So I'm trying not to repeat that mistake again. Professional says Bucks fan, when water doesn't flow uphill, so I'm good. You could probably contact worse things in your daily life than that, especially after diluted by billions of gallons. I'm not an expert. I have no idea how bad it is, but I would. A lot of chemical. They did burn off a lot of it. I'm sure a little bit got into the groundwater. You would have to imagine. But yeah, I'm not an EPA. Vin Cool says, I'm more convinced there is no free market. Vin, what's going on, man? Good to see you in the chat. He says, I'm more convinced that there is no free market. Government begins to decide where the prices go on equities and commodities. Yeah, we were just talking about that, right? I agree with you. I said that a few months back after the reverse split. And I saw them suck all that capital out of AMC. I do not have faith in the regulators. And look, at haven't got FTD data yet. I mean, it seems extremely corrupted by decades of institutional buying with guys who have all the latest tech in order to suppress or pump anything they want at any time. You know? And That's why I said, like, I'm not going to preach to anyone to buy and hold anymore or anything. That you need to do what is best for you and your family, because, you know, liquidity is getting tight and people need access to cash. And I don't know that this stock is going to go off at any point. It absolutely could. I have no more faith in the market itself. I think it has completely been corrupted. And the people who are now, you know, in Congress, at the SEC, with the House Finance Committee, all these people are beholden to the people who keep them running and in office and running their campaigns. So they are not going to buck the system for a bunch of, you know, retail screaming on the internet all day. Again, I'm not saying we can't catch them with their pants down like we have a couple times, but they've had almost 3 years now to prepare for and to make sure that they don't get caught like that again, no matter what. Titan, what's going on, man? He says, sup with it. Just got back from Lake Havasu. Nice, man. How was that? That sounds fun. Chilling with fam back in Cali. Good, man. Good to see you in the chat. Haven't seen you in a couple days, man. That's good. But you were on vacation. That's probably why I didn't see you. Ricardo says, I think VXX jump soon. My opinion. What's going on, Ricardo? How you doing tonight, man? You think the VIX might jump soon? Clark, what's going on, my man? Clark says, Julie and I have 39 XRP coins. Maybe I should, just for the sake of it, turn some of my Ethereum into XRP. How is Julie doing tonight, Clark? Make sure you give her a hello for me. Lux Fan says it doesn't matter if he is or isn't from the FWEF. It's the future. It's not going to be stocked. Money can buy freedom. Yeah. 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 Like I said, Bucks Fan, it makes me probably more bullish on XRP. Knowing that the World Economic Forum backs it makes complete sense. Harry Parrott says, this time in our lives is great fun. Their holes are deep and exciting. Yeah, man. Saturday night, that rabbit hole was something else. Let me see if I have that bookmark still. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. It's too late in the broadcast tonight to get back into what we talked about Saturday night, but we will. We'll talk about it. Well, what's today? The 27th. So how many more days do I have this software? 1, 2. So till Thursday night, I have Restream. So we'll try and get 2 more lives before Thursday night. And we can get into that again. We'll talk about that. About APAC and that the company out of Sweden that I told you guys about. We'll get into that next live. We'll probably do 2 more lives before the 30th. Vin says, so maybe everything is all FUD or the biggest rug pull of all time is coming. Man, I wish I knew, but I just feel like no one is going to step in to enforce anything. Like, we see every day the SEC is slapping someone on the wrist with some kind of fine. Will you really be shocked if a couple years from now we find all of these fines coming down on some of these market makers and brokers for things they did during the last 30 months? Like, will you be shocked if that comes out at some point? and they say, oh, back in 2023, you know, Citadel or Virtu or some Susquehanna was marking long short and shorts long in order to, you know, suppress price action, and we're now fining them $20 million. I think it's just a matter of not getting people too riled up right now, that maybe they're going to find some time in the future where they go back. But again, that's not going to come to us. That's not coming back to the retail investor. That goes to the SEC's pockets. So why I don't even really give a shit if they get fined. Jail time or nothing. That's it. Unprofessional says, Harry Parrot, what the hell? This is the worst time of my life. Look, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It is right. He's right. Unprofessional is right. I mean, look, I was in a better spot 3 years ago than I am right now. Much better spot. I've never been so poor and down in stocks. The rabbit holes just lead to dead-end tunnels that result in bending me over. Yeah. It's going to take an effort from the citizens, the retail investors, to get these people out of office and fix things once and for all. Look, at some point in time, the crisis is going to be over, right? We're in this crisis right now, the fourth turn. Everything runs in cycles. There will be a new high, an awakening, and you know, we're going to need people to fix the things that are broken right now, and that time is going to come. I don't feel that doomed. Right now, everything is terrible, right? But there is a change coming. Make no mistake, there is definitely a change. You can see it right now. I mean, it's very apparent that everything is on its knife's edge right now. And the government, the mainstream media, the globalists, all of them know that their days are numbered. And unfortunately, the swamp runs deep. There is just a lot of rot that has been allowed to slither around down there in DC for decades, some of these people. And they got very deep ties with some of these people. I mean, look at Gary Gensler, man. He came from a 20-year career at Goldman. You think he's going to go and start fucking over his buddies for a couple of retail investors, sending them emails? Broke, what's going on, my man? How you doing tonight? Broke says, good evening, Mass LMND, December 15th, put 16 per strike, 60 cents per contract. I got to make sure I put this as Broke Ape who told me this. What's LMND? If you're still there. Titan 47 says, look into XRP before you buy, buddy. I'm in on it, but good to know what you hold. Yeah, I need to do a deep dive on it, Titan. 100%. I need to really do my homework on it. Fee Jake says, I'm a professional. I know, man, this is like, the fellowship of the miserable here on these live streams. We're all in the same boat. You know? I have one stock that really bounced back from all-time lows, and that's my Palantir. That was the only thing that I held that hasn't absolutely crushed me. Oh, Lemonade, the insurance company, Broke Ape? Okay. I'll look into that. Yeah, Feed Jake is feeling I'm professional, and I feel both you guys. Titan says, market makers and brokers' funds are minuscule compared to the crypto exchange fines. And the settlement SEC is asking for $700 million from Ripple. But didn't they just dropped all the charges, right, Titan? We were just reading it. Harry Parrot says, many of you don't even understand what's happening. It's easily found. Talking about the stuff we talked about Saturday night, Harry Parrot? Clark says, Julie wants to know what you think of XRP. Clark, the next live stream will either be tomorrow night or Wednesday night. I'm going to go back in and do more research on it now that I didn't know that about the WEF. That this guy comes from that yoke. That definitely intrigues me a little more than it did in the past. So get back to me on that. Like I said, either tomorrow night or Wednesday night. I'll probably start diving into that tonight when I get off after I eat. Yeah. Give me like 24 hours, Clark. Brocape, that's Lemonade's the insurance company, correct? Lemonade, they sell insurance. Like you can get like condo insurance, that kind of stuff. Harry Parrot says FYR. Yeah, I know, Harry. Yeah. At MIT, yeah. He taught his class on how you can get the stock market on blockchain. I mean, he did this 3 or 4 years ago. He had that class at MIT. I watched the whole thing, the 2-hour presentation. I believe it was like the first day of the class meet. So there's like a 2-hour lecture that he gives about what the whole course is about. I did a video about it, like probably a year and a half ago, breaking it down. The whole 2-hour speech. Brocape, thank you for the heads up, man. I'm going to look into that. Is Lemonade down to that kind of price right now? Talking about getting calls at $16. Titan says, yeah, the SEC lost but wants money. Got it. Harry says we got to go back to the gold, silver standard. It's coming. Let me see if I can pull this last thing up before I let you guys go. Oh, there's Julie. Julie, good to see you. I miss you too. I just told Clark, Julie, that these guys have been put for a while. I haven't done a deep dive into it, but I have 24 hours. The next time that we meet on a live stream, I will give you my honest thoughts. I don't want to just randomly say, oh, the WEF is behind it, so therefore is this or that. But that definitely puts a whole different spin on it for me. If I can find this map real quick that I saw the other day, basically talking about the banking system and how it got so screwed up after we came off the gold standard. Where is it? I have so many bookmarks. All right. I'll find it for the next live stream. Someone broke down basically everything that has gone on since we came off the gold standard up till today, and just how worthless our currency really is if you think about it. Julie says, would love to know what stocks you think we should invest in. I would say buy more Palantir right now, but it's still very high. There's a very good chance that Palantir is going to come down a lot more. Yeah, it's still $19 a share right now. I always said that it was, and this is when I first bought it, right, 2 years ago, that I thought it was at least like a $25 stock. But I mean, it's up 30% in the last 6 months, Julie. And it was at $7 a year ago. You could have bought it all day for $7. It's up 200% since a year ago today. And I wish I had more cash back then. I would have bought more at $7. But it is held pretty steady. I mean, it came roaring back from $7 and it hasn't really skipped a beat. Like I said, it came to an all-time high, not all-time high, but the 52-week high of 21.85 on November 20th. So, I mean, literally 7 days ago, Julie, it was at the 52-week high. So, I would say just be, maybe wait a little bit until we get into a little bit of a bear, a more bearish market, which is probably coming sooner than later. And hopefully you can save a couple bucks on it. But I all day, I still think it's a $25 stock. Let me see what they're saying here online about it. I haven't really looked at any updated news about it. Let me pull up this article. Hold on. See what they're saying here, and then I'll let you guys go. Yeah, see, steep slide is likely. Not financial advice, but wait is finally over for Palantir following several days last week. England's National Health System made an official announcement that a 7-year contract worth $330 for its new federated data platform has been awarded to a group led by Palantir and 4 other firms.
My wife.
And
Actually, I just moved them.
They want a subscription for the rest. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Harry Parrot says tinfoil hat. Oh, Brocape says yes, Mass, but look up the short interest. In my opinion, this short-lived rally will be ending soon. Okay. I didn't see that in your previous text. Check out SI. Harry Parrot, I'm gonna do my research over the next 24 hours. Next time we come on live, I'll have a bunch of RP. It'll be on the thumbnail. We'll go full deep into it. Clark says, have you heard of the ticker symbol? Jay, you didn't miss nothing, man. You're welcome, Julie. Clark says, have you heard of the ticker symbol INTC? I watched a video on it. My dad believes it's going to go up to $80 per share. Man, it just went on a crazy run, huh, Clark? It's up 25% in the last 30 days. What is this based off of? What was this big move based off of right here? So that's Intel. That's the computer company, Clark, huh? He says the video I watched was saying that the fundamental value is about $36 in a share and it was about 43. So I'm figuring a good entry point is 34 to 35 a share. So I don't have all the charting tools right here. Obviously, I'm just pulling this up quickly on Google, Clark. So I can't see like the moving average or anything on here, but 44.93 was a 52. What did we that just happened? 44. Yeah, that must have just happened. 24.73 is the 52-week low. So you got plenty of room to come back down this, that's for sure. All right, first things first, though. I'm going to do my research into XRP, and we will do a full breakdown on it in the next live. We will go XRP heavy for material. Clark, I'll put up, thank you very much. I'll put up in the, on the screen. So this is the, let me close this. Where is it? Julie. That's the Venmo and Cash App. It's also in the description of the video. Thank you, guys. I am not going to be shy right now. I am like I said in the video tonight, I didn't get paid from Google last month because make $100. The threshold is $100 to get for them to wire you your money, and we were about 40% short. So thank you, guys. Brocape says Palantir is a great buy at anything under 18.60 in your opinion. Brocape, you think anything under $10? Well, you're saying $18. You think they're never going back down to those days again? Those days could be gone forever. You could be right. I think 7's out of the question, right? But you know, just from owning it so long, I've seen it bounce around a lot between like 14 and 22 bucks. But those days might be over. You're right. If they continue to keep this kind of revenue coming in, yeah, and they, you know, they're constantly expanding, getting more into commercial government. I like that aspect of it. You know, all they need is contracts, and that stock could be off to the races. Plus, don't forget they got a ton of physical gold. Palantir owns a ton of physical gold. I don't know if you guys remember. I talked about that in the live stream maybe like a year ago. Remember this? Fuck, it's fucking Bloomberg again. Hold on. I'll throw it up. I don't know if you guys remember we were talking about this on the live stream, but Palantir buys gold bars as hedge against a black swan event. Company spent $50.7 million 100-ounce gold bars in August. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, you could be right, Brocape. Those days might have sailed off to the sunset. He says INTC and PLTR can be considered tech, which is receiving its rally from NVIDIA and others, plus AI, Brocape, right? Plus software. There's a lot. You know, they could be considered in a few different sectors, right? Ken says, I have 730 XRP currently. I want to hold 2,000 to 2,500. All right, like I said, next live XRP heavy. We'll go into it. We will go into it. And if you guys ever have an idea like this on like something that everyone kind of has like, you know, questions about or things you want to talk about, something specific, yeah, bring it up in the chat. Let me know. And we'll plan it for the next, you know, next time we reconvene. At least the next couple of days until the software is gone. AMC, what's going on, my friend? How you doing tonight? Andrew, what's up, my buddy? I want a whole grill, Andrew. I want the whole grill, bro. Oh, man. I mean, terrible, terrible. That's a good one, Andrew. A good one. Broke Ape says, and let's not forget their military. Yeah, they're you know, they make most of their money right now off big government contracts having to do with healthcare and defense. So I hope my dad listened to him back a year ago when I told him to buy at $7. I hope so. Broke Ape says, I want XRP so bad, but I can't buy it. But oh, you're in New York? Oh, that's right. You can't buy XRP if you're in New York, right? True. AMC says, is Al from Boston still in the AMC play? He's in your description. Al from Boston is in my description. You kidding me? No, I don't think so. No, I think he's still filing some lawsuits. I think. Who knows with that guy? Does anyone even know what Al looks like? Has anyone gotten to the bottom? I have no idea, AMC. I'll have to go over to his channel and look at some point. I don't know how he got in my description. That's really weird. Sure, it didn't say AI in Boston. Bucks fan says NWO won't squeeze unless they get FDA approval. That's everything, right? That's such a big deal that you know, and you can sometimes make money off them, you know, taking that next step in approvals in the phases for the trials and stuff. But really, that's when you'll see it move. Typically. Yeah, Bucks fan. Clark says, all the retail that has bought AMC, they need to realize there's just as many shorter positions as if not more. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was looking at the short interest today on AMC, and I saw people on Twitter saying, yes, because it's all self-reported. Yeah. I wouldn't trust those numbers as far as I could throw them. They're a consensus, right? From multiple different reporting sites. Brocape says, Clark, did you see Kim Kardashian trying to IPO Skims, her new clothing line? All right, guys, I think we're about to hit 2 hours. And my jaw is starting to really hurt. So thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Well, next live stream will be, let's just say we'll do it. Let's just say we'll do it tomorrow night, so that you guys can plan on being here, and we'll go deep into XRP tomorrow night. Maybe I'll find out where Tony, maybe he'll want to come on and talk about it too. Be interesting. We, you know, we should. It's good having a conversation. But Tony's pretty knowledgeable about a lot of this stuff, so we'll see if I can get him back on. I don't know what happened to him tonight. I'm sure there's something going on. I'm sure it was. He would have been here if he could. Yeah, no problem, Clark and DB and everybody. Yeah, man, of course. I'm here for you as long as I can be. Tomorrow night, it will be, let's see, what did I go on tonight? I went on at 8 Eastern time, 9 Eastern. I would say around 7:30 tomorrow night Eastern time, Clark. Plan around between 7:30 and 8. That will be start time for tomorrow night. I'm going to try to get in as many as I can before my screen runs out, which is on the 30th. I mean, you know, unless things turn around before then, but how far? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, love you. Thanks so much. If you remember hitting the like button on the way out, if not, don't. YouTube's not going to monetize this anyways. All right, guys, have a good night. Peace.